He's playing 40 minutes a night.
But
take all the shots you want to take, Bronny. There's no restrictions. There's no restrictions. Because this is what he need. This is what he would have been in college getting the same. So let him do that right now, right?
No, what I'm saying is like you're averaging 23. The next level up, right, is the last 3 minutes. That group, right? The back end of the NBA. That is very different.
Okay, the G League season is short.
I feel like if Bronny would have been playing like this, he would have been a #1 pick.
Shut up, Nick.
But I promise you, if he would have been playing like this,
listen,
I said the same.
he would be a #1 pick. That dunk,
but
type shit.
Top five.
Gil's Arena talks about Bronny James dominating in the G League. Check out what they had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
Mr. B, you were sitting courtside at the South Bay Lakers game to support LeBron James Jr., also known as Bronny.
Shout out to
my boy
Bronny.
Quincy.
And shout out Quincy Oliveri, who was doing his thing as well. A nice duo there in the G League for that South Bay Lakers squad. How did Bronny look out there, in your expert opinion?
Play with a lot of confidence. Play with like he was more comfortable. But this is what this year is about for him, to be able to go down there, play, and get the minutes and be able to do what he do. So to me, he looked good, though. He looked good. But like Kenyon said, yeah, he should be down there a little bit more and being able to get more reps up.
Most definitely.
Looking much better.
And you previously said G League is a graveyard for most players. Obviously, Bronny in a different situation. Getting that contract.
There's a plan.
Yeah.
Right? The plan should be, he's been averaging 23 for how long now?
He played 5 games averaging 23 points, so 5 regular season games.
It should be that for, like, let him just stay there, man, and do that.
Yeah.
Day in, day out. Don't disrupt it. You need the reps.
I know, but you don't think like just the end of the game experience?
No, that's bad basketball.
I mean, on
that's bad basketball at the end of the NBA games. It's just.
But you still.
But just to get some reps.
I mean, just to get that's.
But he's still a man.
No, it's bad. Like he's saying, it's
still,
bad. That ain't
but
good.
reps though.
He get more reps there.
What kind of reps?
Yeah, as far as his G League play, playing great in the G League. He's getting used to that speed, but it's all a confidence thing with Bronny. Every time Bronny does an interview, he always brings up just trying to, get my confidence going. It's a confidence issue with Bronny. Still needs to develop NBA skills. He's not quite ready yet, but if he continues down this trajectory in the G League, he could possibly be ready for the NBA, maybe in a season or two. And as far as playing at the end of games, I hear what Kenya is saying. This is garbage minutes, bad basketball. You're playing against players that would normally never play in an NBA game that actually counts. Or at the beginning of a game, you're only going to play those garbage minutes. But Bronny playing those minutes, I think is good for him. Look what he did in Utah at the end of that game. Lakers getting blown out, back-to-back threes, think he drove to the basket. So he's showing a little signs of confidence, but he does need to be in the G League. You don't want to disrupt that confidence, but at the same time, Bronny's going to have to kind of, have tunnel vision in these NBA games. The Lakers, probably in a season or two, they're going to start throwing him in games in that second unit. So he's going to have to kind of shake off that rust, stop being scared, and produce on the NBA court. He's almost there.
So you tell them, I'd rather him playing 40 minutes a night there than 3 minutes, 2 minutes, maybe get in, maybe don't.
Blowout, waiting for a blowout.
I'm saying?
It's whack.
Like, I want him averaging 40 minutes a night.
I wouldn't have him miss any games down there, but, I would bring him up.
Yeah, but the way they're doing it, he's going to miss some games. Right? He's going to miss some games. Just let him rock. Just let him cook. Don't take him on the road. They're going to Utah tonight, right? Leave him there. Leave him there. Let him rock.
Real NBA.
Because he needs the reps, right? He needs the reps. He needs the. The plan should be for them. He's playing 40 minutes a night.
But you don't want to forget who
he's playing 40 minutes a night. But take all the shots you want to take, Bronny. There's no restrictions. There's no restrictions. Because this is what he need. This is what he would have been in college getting the same. So let him do that right now, right?
So you saying
Summer League
down there and never bring him up?
You don't think
Summer League, bring him up for the playoffs, okay?
But the Summer League's gonna be worse than the G League.
But the first couple games, let him go out, get them reps in, because he's only.
No, what I'm saying is like you're averaging 23. The next level up, right, is the last 3 minutes. That group, right? The back end of the NBA. That is very different.
Okay, the G League season is short.
That is very different.
So the G League season is shorter than the NBA season. So when their season is over, yeah, absolutely, yes. But until then, let him stay and let him do it, right?
Yeah, I hear you, Kenyon. And again, he needs to be playing 40 minutes plus a night in the G League, which is great for him. No restrictions, shoot as much as you want. But I agree with Gil. Okay, if he's averaging 23 points per game over the last 5 games, that's probably going to be his averages in the G League. He's looking like a 20-plus point per game, multiple rebounds, multiple assists, confidence at an all-time high. But that next level is playing those garbage minutes. He has to be able to kind of produce in those 3 to 4 minutes. In that span, he should be playing flawless. He should be looking like the best basketball player in those garbage minutes. So if he can master that, then he's one step closer to being an NBA-ready player. But he has to produce when he gets those minutes. No matter if it's early in the game, the middle of the game, or at the end of the game, he has to be able to produce on the NBA floor. That's the next step for Bronny. Play those garbage minutes, but you need to be playing just as much or more in the G League. He can do both. I know he misses time when he's at home in those G League games when he's in LA, but he needs to be able to stay on that bench too, and plus max out the rest of those minutes and rest of those games in the G League. But Bronny, he's getting better, man. Respect to him for proving them haters wrong.
Yeah, I bring him
Down there in Bones Highland, who's sitting at the end of the bench, that's 2 different players.
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to look forward to that, but I was,
I know he came in like, oh, this Bones Highlands and got
just to be able to you know you're gonna play 40 minutes a night.
But I'm saying, you
this,
don't want
right?
him to forget who he is, an NBA player, though.
He's an NBA player. So
Like, you can get
there's a
lost
plan,
in
Nick.
this-
There's a plan. It's a graveyard for a lot of them dudes, yes, that the team don't have a plan.
Yeah.
He has an NBA contract. He doesn't have a 2-way contract.
And you can get lost.
He has an NBA contract. He's not going to get lost.
You can get lost just being in the league too, though.
Yeah.
On the bench.
So-
just being the
But
guy
I'm not saying
never
just be on the
playing.
bench. I'm saying you should be able
With
to
your
bring him up,
confidence.
too.
But like
just
if you
sit
bring
down.
him up if he's not playing, you bring him up, he's not playing. He's just another one of the guys not in the rotation.
But he
could
can't
be playing down there.
But
Instead of being welcoming this, embracing this end of the bench role, which should never, like, it's not a thing that all of us should never embrace. We competitors. We try not to get in that position.
Yeah.
So to be labeled like this where you gonna be, this is as far as you gonna go. Come on, like, nah, man, let me get my talent up. Let me get my value up down there.
But I know.
I'm not just no
but
corner.
them last minutes.
Really, nobody's wrong. It's just a preference. What Kenyon's saying is correct. There is a plan for Bronny. It's not just a graveyard for Bronny. Maybe for 80 to 90% of players, it's a graveyard in the G League. It's pretty much a revolving cycle. Then eventually you're playing overseas. But with Bronny, he has a guaranteed contract. Doesn't have a 2-way contract. He's not going to get lost in the G League, but he could get lost being on that bench as well. So Rashad, Kenyon, respect. You're correct about that, but same with Gil and Nick Young. Why not play him in garbage minutes? But if he plays those garbage minutes, he may be missing those G League games. But at the end of the day, man, Bronny, he's on the right path to being something. Don't know what he's going to be completely in the NBA. It's more looking like a bench player that plays maybe 20, 30 games out of an NBA season. A lot of garbage minutes. The Nassus, he playing garbage minutes. He got in a couple times when Giannis was injured, or if the team is injured and he's in the starting lineup or playing significant minutes. But how many games are you really going to be able to play like that? So you don't want Bronny to get lost in the sauce and, okay, I'm only going to play if we're up by 30 or down by 30. He has to be able to play those garbage minutes now that he's starting to master this G League game speed. He has to be able to produce. That's just what it is.
Minutes could help him, though. Those last minutes will help him get in the beginning.
But it's not
saying-
gonna-
I'm saying,
Did it help you?
Like, that shows that RF calling it practice.
Ours was different because we didn't have the G
You
League
could
like
be
that.
practicing with
We didn't have an alternative. We had to work different.
No, we had
had to
to
work different.
so
It wasn't the same, though. It's not the same.
different.
So
Back in the
yes, but let his season end.
D-League. It was the
Let his season end. They come March, April, let him come because so when's the G League season over?
Let me double
When
check.
is it
The
over?
Winter Day Finals or when is that?
Definitely
I
before
don't
the
know about
playoffs.
every. Just keep him down there.
So what about when they don't have games? Like down there,
okay,
like
cool
and
then.
then like he can move
Cool
up?
then,
Okay.
cool then.
But you're just saying he
Don't
should miss
dis- don't disrupt.
Their
don't
playoffs
miss no
starting,
G
late
League games.
Don't miss no
Okay.
G League games.
Late March?
Yeah, yeah.
Playoffs starting
yeah,
late
so what
March,
he's saying is
finals
stay
are
down there,
early
but when they
April
don't have
So
games,
then they
come
got,
up.
but I'm saying so
Yeah.
what Brandon just said, right?
Yeah, that's what.
Don't let him miss. Bring him up. Yeah, okay, cool. On the days that he don't
Yeah, when
have
the season
them
over.
games, right? Don't disrupt his G League season.
Yeah, that's what.
Let him play all of those games.
I
He's
agree
going
with
to
that.
play 40 minutes a night. He's going to get these shots. He's going to like all of these things because there's a plan for him for the future.
Yeah.
We're grooming you to be an NBA player, to have your confidence, work on this. We're going to train him as he is there. Like his training regimen might be different from the rest of the guys because you're training him for that.
Yeah, I hear that part. You got to really, hear the full context. So Kenyon's not opposed to him being on the Lakers bench, but let him play all the G League games. Don't miss a game unless he's really injured. And then when the G League season's over in the early April, all right, go ahead and be on the Lakers bench. You might as well because there's no G League play. So I get that. But, if he's playing this good, there was some backlash with J.J. Redick throwing him in that Sixers game. I ain't really take no issue with it. You got to be able to play eventually. He had a couple good stretches of G League play. So you know what? I'm going to just throw you in the Sixers game. They don't have Joel Embiid. They don't have Paul George. Yeah, you got rocked by Tyrese Maxey, got crossed about your shoes. But so what? You got to earn your NBA stripes. You're still a rookie. People are saying, you're the 55th pick. No pressure. All right, Bronny, no pressure. Go ahead and play in that game. But, all that backlash with J.J. Redick and then Stephen A. Smith calling out LeBron James. I hear what he's saying overall, how Bronny got into the NBA, but he's in the NBA, so it is what it is. However he got there is however he got there. Now it's time for Bronny to play in these NBA games, especially after the G League is over.
But, don't let him get the rep. He need him.
Yeah.
He needs
I agree
to
with that.
constantly be like, okay, I'm the man. I know that, right?
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. Don't just y'all want him on the road.
Did he make the G League All-Star game?
Of course.
I mean, he's averaging.
He
What
should.
is he averaging?
23?
23.
I'm sure.
23, 5, and 4.
Yeah, sure.
So let's move on to Cemetery Larry. Previously, you said Bronny would have been better off staying in college, right, to get more experience development. I think, Kenny, you agree with that statement as well.
Yeah, he should have been in
So how do you
college.
think these numbers would compare to college? And basically the point I'm trying to ask is, what do you think that South Bay Lakers squad, if you put that squad in college, would that be the number one team in the country?
All right, D2.
I haven't seen them play, so I can't tell you that. I don't know who they have.
They're not in the major
Some of them dudes
conference.
old. Some of them dudes 30.
Yeah. So grown men.
Playing against college kids, so what are you asking?
So basically, this point I'm saying that Bronny playing in the G League, how would these numbers
It
compare
depends on where he went to school at.
to college? I think numbers would be lower just because the college system is
Depends on where he went to school at. It all depends on where he went to school at. If he went to a school then somebody gave him the reins and listen, go DU, there's no restriction. You can shoot all the shots you want to shoot. Then there's a different story.
15,
He's
5,
going to
and
play in the
5.
system. He's going to play with an average somewhere we averaging 14, but he can prove that he can play.
Yeah.
Right? You prove that you're this, you're that, you're playing with this system, you're shooting a high clip from 3, mid-range, you're doing all these things, then yeah, you can average 12 and be a lottery pick. So that's...
I feel like if Bronny would have been playing like this, he would have been a number one pick.
Shut up, Nick.
But
Promise you. If he would have been playing like this,
listen,
I said the same.
but
he would be a number one pick. That dunk
but
type
top
shot.
no.
Top 5?
Top
Now,
five.
that's basically my
All right,
point.
but listen, but
doing
they
this
can
in
be
the
top
doing this in the G League
Yeah.
Top
for what
5,
his
top
sophomore
10.
year in college, more or
Top
less.
10?
is he playing like this because of the competition level?
Well, the
think it's
competition is
his
better here than
confidence.
it been in high
That's-
school.
No. I know that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. He's playing like this just because he's getting more run. He's able to make mistakes. Doesn't have to worry about being pulled out of games. His confidence is at an all-time high in the G League. When he gets in these NBA games, he's looking like a different person. So if he can take even half of his confidence in the G League, move it to the NBA, maybe the fourth quarter, garbage minutes, he can look like the best garbage player or garbage minute player in the NBA. But as far as how this would have transferred over to college, Kenyon's right. It all depends on the team that you're on. Now, if you're playing for UCLA or USC or whichever team, those upper echelon teams, the Dukes, he may not be getting a lot of minutes. Maybe he's averaging what he averaged at USC on Duke, on Kentucky, in Alabama. Like whatever top teams in the college, his numbers won't look as good because he may be behind a certain starters and other point guards. But Bronny really should have been in college. This would have been a great second season for Bronny in college. Don't know what happened at USC. Maybe the coaching, things just didn't match up. But I think he should have explored that option. But there was some pressure from Clutch Sports and LeBron James to go ahead and hurry up, enter the NBA. Your father's getting old. He really wants to play on the same team as you. So I hear that part as far as, being a parent. But he did rush the process and kind of hurt Bronny James. Now we're seeing what he could have been in college if he would have stayed a season or 2 or even 3. But unfortunately, when your father's LeBron James, there's a lot of pressure, and especially moving up and trying to, get on an NBA team. But if I'm Bronny James, I'm requesting a trade. I don't think they'll honor it, but it may be the best thing. Bronny needs to be on a team to where he can play minutes. The Utah Jazz, the Washington Wizards, all the sorry teams in the NBA, that's where Bronny James should request a trade to. One of those teams to where he can start a game. He can be a great bench player that's minutes, getting 15 to 25 minutes per game. Being on the Lakers, playing with your dad, it's a lot. And he's not going to get minutes playing behind Luka and Gabe Vincent and the other point guards on that team. He's not ready to play in LA on the Lakers, but he may be ready to play with the Washington Wizards or teams like that. So that's an option that they should explore.
So, like, this the best I ever
That's based on
seen.
fact. Is the G League competition higher than the college?
So I don't like that because he's playing to the level of his
He would be
college.
playing better.
No, he wouldn't.
Even
You know why? Because
wait,
G League is his peers. He's
it's
playing
not.
against his
No,
peers.
it's not.
He playing against dudes he know he better than.
Him do this.
He see playing against dudes he know he better than.
So he would be better.
Better in college, yes, I'm right.
The world is on you. Now you have
Because he's playing against guys he know he better than.
What? Like
That's the whole point of being a vet.
He's a vet now?
He would be if he was in college. He would be a vet. He would be considered a vet. A guy who's about to go to the league after his, second? This be his third year?
This will be a second year.
Second
So it'd
year?
be a sophomore season in college.
Hell
You a
yeah.
vet these
But would you say
days,
the
2
G League
more years
competition is
plus.
basically the point I'm getting at? Is G League competition higher than the college?
He didn't play
Hell yeah.
in high school, King.
I'm just
So if he's doing this in G League, he would
That's what I'm
destroy. He
saying.
would be
If he would've did
destroying
this
in
in high school,
college.
he could have been.
And what month is this?
Black History.
We're leading into what month?
Think about that.
Wait,
I'm laughing at
March
this fool.
Madness.
I'm laughing at this fool.
He did this in high school.
So think about he going into March Madness after 23.
If people did this in high school, he would have been.
But that's what I'm saying.
Ooh, but he wasn't.
It
So
depends
he's
on the
playing.
system,
He's
man.
playing better because of the competition. In college, he wouldn't be like
It's-
this. And then even if
Would he be
did,
playing worse, you saying?
He's playing better because he's been around better
Yeah,
players.
because he's around pros.
Would you
So he
think
has
he
to.
would be
He would have
playing
been
worse
playing
in
a
college?
different
I think he would just be, yeah.
Yeah, I think his.
I don't think it helps. I don't think it helps. This right here, he has to play. Every night, Bronny, it's on you. Like,
Like I said,
Depends
depends
on
on
the
where
pro.
Yeah.
Depends on where
Every
he
night.
goes.
You're not
to
baiting
school.
me into this
That's what
Nick,
conversation.
how many you
Kenny
averaging college? I don't like when you got drafted.
18,
18.
but if he's a
So,
lottery pick, he's not.
what was the next person? I'm saying, what was the next person?
You're on your own.
17.
So-
April.
Somebody else around. So if he averaged that, you had Taj. So if you 16, 17, 18, multiple guys are doing multiple things in college, you can average that to get drafted. You don't have to average 23, 24.
Again, Kenyon's saying it all depends on which team Bronny would have went to in college. It didn't work out in USC. He would have had to go to another team to get significant minutes in order to mirror what he's doing in the G League. But the way he's playing now, it could have looked great for him if he would have stayed in college a little longer. But again, club sports, they kind of messed things up for Bronny.
Actually break down a
No,
zone.
because the college
go again.
a college zone ain't the same as the NBA.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a zone. It's a different defense.
It's small.
But the
Different
quarter,
defense.
I'm learning
It's
as a
different in
scorer, I can
college.
break down all the defense.
So I can just sit in the corner. In
But the
college,
quarter-
he's a shooting guard, so he can just sit in the corner, get these shots, people passing it. In the NBA, he has to create his own shots. Right? We didn't see someone passing the ball. Right?
You
We
saying
see
they
him
don't
do a
run
pick and
zone?
roll.
So you saying
swerving it,
they
swerving
don't run zone in the NBA? Because they ran zone last night.
not everybody.
A few times.
We see him play
Depends on
against
They
the
was
team,
playing
the
zone
coaching
last
staff.
night.
They play against zone. I didn't see
So,
the zone.
yeah,
I run the
we
video.
guessed.
I want to see him play zone.
Can we see some Bronny highlights again,
zone.
please?
But yeah, man, best of luck to Bronny. Keep playing good in the G League. He's finally on the path to being an NBA-ready player, and we'll see what happens moving forward with Bronny James.